The tragic story behind Johnny Depp and Winona Ryder's fairytale romance. Many Hollywood relationships are, like most relationships, an emotional roller coaster filled with excitement, drama, and heartbreak. But some Hollywood love stories are broken precisely because of, well, Hollywood. All eyes are on them, their schedule is hectic, and a stable romantic life seems impossible. The love story of Johnny Depp and Winona Ryder was arguably the center of all the tabloids in the early 1990s. They seemed as happy as a couple could be, and Johnny even got his famous Winona Forever tattoo within a few months of their dating. They got engaged, moved in together, and even starred together in Tim Burton's delicate Edward Scissorhands. So what happened to the beautiful 1990s couple? Why did they split up? Did someone come between them? Was it the media? Or was it just themselves? Let's dive in. This Hollywood love story begins like many others, at a premiere. It was 1989 when Winona met Johnny at the Great Balls of Fire premiere. According to both of them, it was love at first sight. They only caught a glance at each other through a crowd of people, but they knew they wanted to be together one way or another. Johnny said that for him, the moment he saw Winona was, as Johnny puts it, a classic glance, like the zoom lenses in West Side Story, and everything else gets foggy. But their experiences in this story differed from the very start. Winona was 17 when she first met Johnny. She'd dated Christian Slater for a month or two before, but this was not a committed relationship, and she was still a virgin. But in Johnny's case, the story was pretty much the opposite. He was 26 at the time, and he'd been married, divorced, and engaged by the time he met Winona. When he was 20, Johnny Depp married makeup artist Lori-Ann Allison. They had met through the rock band Johnny played in when he was a teenager, and it all kicked off pretty fast. But easy come, easy go. After 2 years of marriage, the two decided to call it quits. In 1987, Johnny started dating Sherry Lynn Fenn, who was famous for her Twin Peaks role at the time. They too got engaged, but they never made it to the wedding. And just before meeting Winona in early 1989, Johnny dated Dirty Dancing star Jennifer Grey. But apart from their relationship history, Johnny and Winona did have a lot of things in common. First of all, they were both rising stars. Although only 17, going on 18, Winona was a proper teen starlet at the time. She starred in Tim Burton's Beetlejuice and in the 1989 movie Heathers, and her face was appearing more and more in American magazines. Johnny Depp had debuted in A Nightmare on Elm Street, but it was 21 Jump Street that took him to TV star heights. He was getting 10,000 fan letters every month. Both he and Winona were enjoying, but also struggling with stardom. Winona and Johnny officially met when their mutual friend, Josh Richmond, brought them together in Johnny's hotel room at Chateau Marmont. This was the same hotel Jim Morrison and Roman Polanski had stayed at, and a famous filming location for many directors, including Tim Burton. Winona loved how shy Johnny was. He wasn't your typical arrogant TV star. He hadn't lost touch with the simple boy from Kentucky. Moreover, the two were brought together by their love of literature, of the exact same literature. Johnny's biggest love was beat poetry, and this was the very counterculture Winona had grown up with. In fact, her dad had a bookstore that Johnny had visited in the past. The young couple would visit bookstores, collect first editions of beat poetry books, and read from their favorite authors, Jack Kerouac and J.D. Salinger. However, they wouldn't get to hang out enough. Soon, they started shooting Edward Scissorhands, a beautiful love story between an unusual man and a young girl. But their schedule was chaotic, and they wouldn't see much of each other outside the set. Winona herself spoke publicly about this, saying she was glad they were done shooting.
Well, I'm looking forward to it. It means we get to spend more time together at least.
Their relationship moved very fast, much like Johnny's previous relationships, but even faster. Within 5 months of dating, the two got engaged and moved in together. Johnny even got a tattoo saying Winona Forever. This impressed Winona's parents, who were pretty reluctant about the relationship otherwise. After all, there was an 8-year age difference, and Winona was barely an adult at that point. Dealing with fame and a committed relationship at the same time seemed a little rushed to them, but not to Winona.
And I feel pretty stable and secure.
Do you think it's important to have a stable relationship when you're 19?
Well, it's certainly helpful in this business. I mean, to have some stability, because this business you tend to be kind of, everything's up in the air all the time, so to have like a good family life and a good relationship with someone is pretty important to me.
Winona's parents had welcomed Johnny into their family. Whenever they would visit them in Petaluma, the Horowitz family, that's right, Ryder is a stage name, would pamper them with breakfast in bed. It all seemed like a dream come true, But you know how things always look swell from the outside, and from the inside it's always a bit more imperfect? That was the case with Johnny and Winona, too. The young couple were in love, they just moved in together, and they wanted to take their relationship to the altar ASAP. Perhaps they feared things would go awry if they didn't tie the knot and make the ultimate commitment. After all, this wasn't the first time Johnny was rushing. So in 1990, Johnny and Winona tried to convince their friend, director John Waters, to marry them in a ceremony. In 2019, Waters released a memoir in which he revealed a brand new detail about this. He refused to marry Johnny and Winona simply because Winona was too young at that point, and he could see the couple making rash decisions. They were wearing rose-colored glasses, and it was okay to be very enthusiastic about a relationship in its first months. But John Waters convinced Johnny and Winona to wait for a bit longer before they made the final commitment, and see if their infatuation with one another actually turns into true love. As supportive as Winona's parents were of her and Johnny, they were glad they didn't get married. They too believed it was too soon. Unfortunately, they were right. As months passed, Winona and Johnny would face several hurdles in their relationship. One of their biggest issues was that they simply didn't have time to properly be together. Both of them were famous by now, and they were getting role after role in movies and TV. Johnny was spending most of his time on the set of What's Eating Gilbert Grape. During these months, he also started abusing alcohol and drugs. Of course, most young stars in California dabbled in at least one of the two from time to time, but Johnny was exaggerating, and he knew it. His constant state of intoxication meant that the little spare time he would have had to spend with Winona was pretty much wasted. Meanwhile, Winona was busy too. She was playing a young fiancé in Martin Scorsese's movie Age of Innocence. Within 2 years, the couple drifted apart, and in 1993, they broke up.
And you've got Winona Forever. I presume that's Winona Ryder. Is that one still there?
Good guess. No, it's no longer there. We've split up.
You had the tattoo taken off?
No, of course not. I think these things to me, these tattoos, for me are a journal,
Johnny said that he wanted to keep the honesty of the moment he got the tattoo and joked that he might change it to Winona Forever, which he did. He didn't want to erase it completely, but the joke was meant to ease his pain. Indeed, Johnny suffered greatly after he and Winona broke up. Tim Burton remembers Johnny would come on set crying, and he kept saying it was his fault that he and Winona broke up. Winona spiraled down a rabbit hole as well. For a few weeks after the split, she drank and chain-smoked in her hotel room, listening to Tom Waits songs. Once, she took one too many sleeping pills and passed out with a lit cigarette. She got woken up by the flames, and that was a big wake-up call for her. But she still struggled with depression, and she hated how magazines pictured her as a super lucky woman.
And I saw myself on the cover of Rolling Stone magazine, and it said something like, Winona Ryder, the luckiest girl in the world. And it broke my heart, because there I was, in so much pain.
But months turned to years, and as you probably already know, time heals. Looking back at their relationship, Johnny blames himself as much as he blames the media. Indeed, it's pretty horrible to not have privacy in a romantic relationship. After his relationship with Winona, Johnny went on to date Kate Moss for 4 years. Then he was together with Vanessa Paradis for 14 years, and the two had a son and a daughter. In 2012, Johnny began dating Amber Heard. The two split up in 2017, but their dramatic trial stemmed from Amber's accusations is far from over. Winona had her fair share of relationships after Johnny too. In fact, she considers herself a serial monogamist. Her parents' seemingly perfect marriage of 5 decades simply set the bar too high for her, she says. But Winona's latest relationship, although she keeps it very private, seems a very happy one. She's been with her partner, fashion designer Scott McInlay-Hahn, since 2011. Johnny will always have a special place in her heart, though. After all, he was her first love. Currently, Winona is defending Johnny in his trial against Amber. Star magazine reported that Johnny and Winona were chatting on the phone in 2019. The two are still close, possibly brought closer by the troublesome trial. No matter their relationship's sad ending, both have learned valuable lessons about young, careless love and stardom, and they will forever treasure each other. Thanks for watching, you guys. Hey, and don't be shy. Give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for more great celebrity stories. Till next time.